Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for being here with me today. My name is Alyssa, and today I'm going to walk you through a 30-minute gentle flow. In this flow, I will cue more of all fours where you're on a quadruped position. If you want to take a down dog during that time, you're more than welcome. You do not have to. If you have blocks, would highly recommend having blocks with you. If you don't, large water jugs filled up with water or even large textbooks to just help bring the ground up to you. Also, if you have sensitive knees, because we'll be on all fours, if you have an extra knee pad or you have a blanket you'd like to put underneath your knees, I encourage you to get that as well. I will provide modifications, but listen to your body. Listen to whatever is going to feel best for you. So, just to go ahead and get started, as I do with all of my classes, we'll go ahead and find a comfortable seat. I invite you to sit up on a block if you have one. That will just help bring your hips up a little higher than your knees. You can also sit on a blanket folded up a few times or even a meditation cushion if you'd prefer. Closing the eyes or having a soft gaze down at one steady point. Hands and palms can be facing down if you'd like a little bit of grounding. Palms can be facing up if you'd like a little bit of lightness or a little bit of lift. And finding the breath in and out of the nose. Just your normal pattern, normal rhythm. Settling in, finding your ears, your shoulders, and your hips stacked in alignment so you have a steady foundation on the sit bones. Continue breathing here. As we continue to sit, if the mind starts to wander off, I invite you to gently, with compassion, bring the mind back to the breath, finding just this breath in and just this breath out. You gave yourself these 30 minutes to be on your mat and tune inward into you. So I invite you to find that focus on the breath. Remain present with each breath in and each breath out. At the bottom of your next exhale, release the air completely out from the bottom of the lungs. Let go of all of the dead air that's been sitting at the bottom of your lungs all day or all last night, whatever time of day it is. And we'll take 3 deep belly breaths here, keeping the breath in and out of the nose. So inhale through the nose, expand the chest, expand the rib cage, expand the belly. And as you exhale, release the air back out of the nose. 2 more like that. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Release control of the breath. Come back to your normal pattern, normal rhythm. On your next inhale, circle the arms out, around, and up overhead. Palms come to touch. And then hands come down through heart center, Anjali Mudra, an invitation to set an intention for your practice if you'd like. Flutter the eyes, open if you close them. If you sat up on your block, gently remove it. We're going to meet in all fours. So again, all fours, wrists directly under shoulders, knees directly under hips. Inhale, drop the belly down, pull the chest and heart forward for cow. And then exhale, push the ground away for cat. Arch for cow as you inhale. And exhale, round for cat. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. You can stay here with more of a linear up and down movement. If you want to add in some hip swishes to either side, or if you want to rock back and forth to open up the knee joints, anything that feels like it fits your body, that your body is looking for in this practice today. Two more rounds of breath wherever you are. And once you finish that last round, we're going to go ahead and meet back in all fours, finding a neutral spine here, so not in cow or in cat. And we're going to open up the wrists a little bit. So take this as deep as you want. We're going to make some circles. So as if your shoulder blades had really long paintbrushes, you're just going to circle around the wrist to the left. This will also open up the hips a little bit, but really focusing on the wrists here. Making sure that you're gripping with the pads of the fingers and the knuckles. And then we're going to go ahead and reverse that the opposite direction. So to the right or whatever direction you didn't just do. Opening up the wrists. Keep the arms strong here and activated. And then once you've finished, we'll meet back in all fours, coming into cow-faced pose legs or Gomukhasana legs. So the right knee is going to come into the middle of the mat, directly below the right hip, but more in the middle. The left knee is going to squeeze behind the right. From here, lots of rights and lefts. Right shin swivels to the left. Left shin swivels to the right. So you're pulling your feet away from the center line as much as you can. You can stay here if this is enough. If you want to take a little bit of rocks back and forth, you can. Doesn't matter how deep you go. If you even choose to rock, just opening up these hips a little bit. One more rock if you're taking them. And then we'll meet back in center, unravel the legs, come back into all fours, one round of cat-cow in between, drop the belly, pull the chest and heart forward, and exhale, push the ground away and round. And then come back through center, cow-faced pose or Gomukhasana on the other side. So the left knee comes directly under the center line of the body. The right knee squeezes behind the left. All your lefts and rights. So the left shin swivels to the right. The right shin swivels to the left. So again, the feet are pulling away from the center line of the body. You can stay here if you're already feeling this. If you want to take a little further, you're more than welcome to drop the hips back and rock back and forth. Again, opening up the hips, depending on your hip, feeling it. Maybe for me, I feel it in the left hip, the one that's on top now. You might feel it more in the right hip. Two more rocks if you're choosing to take them. After your last rock, we'll meet back in all fours, unravel the legs. Big toes come together, knees spread apart wide. Pull the hips back towards the heels. Child's pose, head comes down to a block or the floor. Either or. Stretching the arms out long, so much that maybe the forearms are even lifting off of the ground. So you're really feeling the side stretch through the sides of the body. 2 more breaths here. Breathe in. And breathe out. And if you're ever in child's pose and this is too much on the knees, you can actually put a blanket in between your butt cheek and your heel to give you a little bit more support here. It's always an option. On your next inhale, come back up to all fours. We're going to go ahead and find some movement. So bring the knees back to underneath the hips so they're not wider than the hips. Coming into crescent lunge. So you're going to step the right foot forward. If you get stuck halfway, right hand behind the right heel, help it up. You want the foot in between the hands here. Crescent lunge. Hands can go up to the sky. Hands can be at heart center. Hands can be on blocks or even chairs by the side if that's what you need. Anjaneyasana here. Finding a stretch through the left hip flexor. We'll take 2 more breaths. Last breath in. And exhale. Circle the hands down, frame the front foot. If you have sensitive knees, maybe putting a blanket under the knee at this point. We're going to swivel around into a modified side plank. So pull the hips back, reach the right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Left shin swivels to the left, and then you ground the back foot. So modified side plank here. Right hand goes up to the sky. Engaging the glutes, pushing the glutes forward. So you're opening through this left hip flexor while engaging the core. 2 more breaths here. Breathe in. And breathe out. You can look up towards the right hand if that feels okay on the neck. And breathe in. And breathe out. Circle the right hand back down. Go ahead and swivel that left shin back to where it came from. We're going to come back into crescent lunge. So the right foot steps back forward. Help it up if you need. Again, Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Hands can go up, heart center, on blocks or other props. 3 breaths here. 2 more breaths. Pull the right heel and the left knee together isometrically. So they don't actually move, but when you try to pull them together, you activate the legs. 1 more breath. And exhale. Circle the hands down, frame the front foot. Grab your blocks if you want to use them for Ardha Hanumanasana half splits. So you pull the hips back. Lengthen through the right leg as much as makes sense to you. It does not have to be all the way straight. Maybe this is too low for you. Maybe you need chairs or to be next to a wall to use that for support. I would rather you be up here with a neutral spine than to be down and rounded. So if you have the flexibility, you can pull yourself forward. You can release the head at the bottom of the fold if you'd like. 2 more breaths. Can you pull the right hip back in space to get a nice stretch through this right hamstring? Last breath. And exhale. Bend that right knee again, coming into lizard pose. So you have a lot of options. You can keep the blocks in front of you. Right hand comes in between the right foot. Maybe you heel toe the right foot a little bit more to the right. Either hands on blocks, forearms on blocks. Hands on the floor, forearms on the floor. You have so many options of where to put your hands on or what you are needing. Just keep the right knee super glued against the right shoulder. We're going to take 3 breaths in lizard. Breathe in. And breathe out. 2 more breaths here. Can you try to pull the chest and heart forward a little bit wherever you are? One more breath. And exhale. Come up to hands if you're not already there. Take as many steps as you need. We're going to meet in a forward fold at the top of the mat. So I will tuck my back toes, lift my back knee, bend the left knee as I straighten the right leg, and step forward into Uttanasana, forward fold. Hands can come to blocks, hands can go to the floor, knees can be bent. 2 more breaths in Uttanasana, forward fold. Release the head at the bottom of the fold. Let the neck relax. Last breath. Exhale. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Pull the chest and heart forward as you have your hands on your knees. And then exhale, release back down. Inhale, circle the arms out, around, and up. Urdhva Hastasana. Down through heart center and by the sides. Tadasana, mountain pose. Left hand heart, right hand belly. We'll take 3 breaths in Tadasana. Feet can be hips width or all the way together. 2 more breaths here. And exhale. Last breath in. And exhale. Flutter the eyes, open if you close them. Circle the arms out, around, and up overhead. Right foot gets heavy, heavy, heavy on the ground. Left knee picks up into the chest and step back, high lunge. You can always wiggle your foot back if you need to. Hands can be up, they can be against a wall, they can be at heart center. You can even have hands on the hips if that's better on the shoulders. 2 more breaths in high lunge. Last breath in. And exhale. Open it up, warrior 2, so you ground the back heel. The right knee is bent, right toes are forward. Left leg is straight, left toes are slightly turned in. 3 breaths in warrior 2. Can you relax the shoulders down the back? Can you keep the arms strong? Last breath in. And exhale. Flip the right wrist. Reach it up and back, reverse warrior. If you're putting a lot of weight in this back hand, wrap it around your back half bind. 2 breaths. Breathe in. And exhale. Last breath in. And exhale. Inhale, come up to stand. Circle the hands down, frame the front foot. Low lunge is just a transition here, so get yourself settled. And then you can go ahead and plant the hands. Bring the left knee down. Bring the right knee back to meet it. We'll do 1 round of cat-cow in between our blocks. Drop the belly down, pull the chest and heart forward. And then exhale, push the ground away and round. Come back through center. We'll go ahead and meet for the other side. So step the left foot through in between the hands. Help it up if you need. Foot in between the hands here for proper alignment. Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Here, pull the left heel and the right knee together to activate the legs. 2 more breaths. Last breath in. And exhale. Circle the hands down, frame the front foot. Again, if you have a sensitive knee, maybe putting a blanket or an extra pad underneath. You're going to step the left leg along, step back. You're going to swivel the right shin to the right. Ground the back heel, modified side plank. Right knee down, left leg extended. Engage the glutes slightly, push them forward to open up through the hip flexor. engaging the core, which includes the back body and the glutes. 2 more breaths. Last breath in. And exhale. Reach the left arm forward, back down to the mat. Swivel the right shin back to where it came from. And then step the left foot back forward, coming back into Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Hands go wherever you need them to go. There is no better place to put them than wherever is best for you. 2 more breaths. Last breath in. And exhale. Circle the hands down, frame the front foot. Coming into Ardha Hanumanasana, half split, so grab your blocks if you'd like to use them. Pull the hips back as you lengthen through the left leg. Can you pull your heart to your toes to your heart? Can you pull the left hip back in space a little bit? If you do, you can feel that left hamstring lighting up a little bit more. 2 more breaths here. Last breath in. And exhale. Rebend through the left knee. Set the blocks out of the way unless you're using them for your lizard pose. Left hand comes inside the left foot. Maybe you scoot that left foot a little bit to the left. Hands on the floor, hands on blocks. Forearms on the floor, forearms on blocks. Any variation is welcome here. 3 breaths in your variation of lizard. Two more. And exhale. Last breath in. And exhale. Gently come up to hands if you're not already there. We're all going to meet in forward fold. So take as many steps as you need to get there. If you'd like to come with me, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, go ahead and bend the back leg to use a little bit as a spring to step forward. Into Uttanasana, forward fold. Adjust your feet as you need. Feet can be all the way together or they can be hips width apart. Hands can be on blocks, hands can be on the floor. 1 more breath. And exhale. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana, flatten the back, pull the chest and heart forward. And exhale, release back down. Inhale, circle the arms out around and up, Urdhva Hastasana, down through heart center and by the sides, Tadasana, left hand heart, right hand belly, close the eyes or have a soft gaze down. And we'll take 3 deep breaths here, coming back to heart center, tuning in to the breath, where the breath has gone, where the heart rate has gone. 2 more breaths. Last breath in. And exhale. Flutter the eyes, open if you close them. Inhale, circle the arms out around and up. Plant the left foot, make the left foot heavy, bring the right knee into the chest, and step back high, lunge. Wiggle your foot back if you need to once the foot has landed. 3 breaths here. Hands can be up, hands can be at heart center, they can be on the hips. 2 more breaths. Last breath in. And exhale. Open it up, warrior 2. Ground the back heel. This time left leg is bent, left toes are forward. Right leg is straight, right toes are slightly turned in. And making sure your ears, your shoulders, and your hips are stacked in alignment. 2 more breaths in warrior 2. Virabhadrasana 2. Last breath in. And exhale. Flip the left wrist. Reach it up and back. Reverse warrior. 2 breaths. Find a half bind if you're putting weight in that back hand. 1 more breath in. And 1 more breath out. Inhale, come up to stand. Circle the hands down, frame the front foot. Low lunge is just a transition here. Go ahead and plant the hands, bring the right knee down, step the left knee back. 1 round of cat-cow here, drop the belly down, pull the chest and heart forward. And exhale, push the ground away and round. Come back through center. We're going to go ahead and gently come to sit all the way down. From here, plant the feet. You might have to scoot a little bit forward on your mat. We're going to come lay all the way down. So take as long or as little as you like to find yourself laying all the way down. And once you have arrived, tee the arms out by the sides. Walk your feet in a little closer to your bum. And then feet go as wide as the mat. From here, we're going to windshield wiper the legs, loosening up those hips. We did a lot with lizard and crescent lunge. So leave the heels where they are. Drop the legs over to the right. And then come back through center and drop them over to the left. Come back through center, over to the right. Back through center, over to the left. Keep going at your own pace, whatever pace feels good to you. This might also feel like a little bit of a massage on the glutes. Just loosening everything up, letting go of some of the tension in the hips. We tend to hold a lot of tension and emotion in the hips, and letting that go here. Once you've evened out both sides, we'll go ahead and meet back in the center. Gently release the legs down. Arms can relax by the sides about 1/2 foot to a foot away from the body. Palms facing up, able to receive in everything you put into your practice and surrendering into your variation of Shavasana. On your next exhale, release the air completely out from the bottom of your lungs. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana longer, you are more than welcome to do so. If you would like to begin bringing movement back into the body, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, circle the arms long overhead, reach arms and fingers in one direction, toes in the other. Circle out the wrists, circle out the ankles, full body stretch. And then on your next exhale, bring the knees into the chest, wrapping yourself up in a big hug, offering yourself compassion, kindness, love, and grace, things that you so freely give to others and often neglect to give to yourself.
offering you a permission slip today and every day moving forward to give yourself these things without guilt and without shame. One more big squeeze in, and then gently roll over to one side and slowly lift yourself up, finding your version of a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you after practice. Thank you so much for being here with me. We're going to end with one more deep collective breath. So as you inhale, circle the arms out, around, and up. Exhale, hands come down through heart center, Anjali Mudra, bowing the head in gratitude for your body that does so much for you without you ever asking, and to this ancient practice that helps us come back home to heart center and find presence. Seal your practice in with a breath. Thank you again for flowing with me today. I bow to you. I appreciate you being here and flowing with me. You can find me on Instagram at AlyssaXXTucker, or you can comment below if you have questions, concerns, requests, things you'd love to see. I would love to hear from you. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care.